Okay, so the last recording was way too long. It was like 15 minutes, and I had only gone through like 2-3 chapters. And it was like, I kept pausing. And there was like this one long pause because my grandfather, grandfather, walked by, and he had like the heaviest footsteps. And then my dog walked in. Moby. See, that was him shuffling. You say hi? That was his hi. Anywho, yeah, welcome to my Lord of the Flies analysis. Yay! Okay, so chapter 1. What's it called again? The shell on the beach. I don't think that's what it's called. We're gonna call it that. So, basically what happens, Ralph is introduced as our protagonist. His name's Ralph. He meets Piggy, and together they're like, oh my god, our plane crashed. Oh my gosh, there's no adults. Oh my gosh, we're alone, we're stranded on this island thingy. And Ralph is pretty excited. He's like, oh my god, no adults? Hell fucking yeah. I get to do whatever I want. And Piggy's like, what the fuck are we gonna do? And then they introduce themselves to each other. And Piggy's like, I just don't want the boys on the island to call me what they used to call me in school. And Ralph's like, well, what did they used to call you in school? And he's like, my nickname is Piggy, but don't tell anybody that because I don't want to be called that. And Ralph basically goes like, he makes fun of him. And he's like, haha, L plus ratio plus bozo plus fatherless plus asthma motherfucker. And so they go swimming, or at least Ralph does. Piggy doesn't go swimming, and Ralph is like, you don't want to go swimming. Why? Because your auntie told you not to because you have asthma. And like Piggy has an accent. It's like a British accent, but it's like he talks like a Texan, so it says asthma. So it's like, screw you and your asthma. And like in the midst of swimming, Ralph is like, he's like, my daddy, he's in the Navy and he's gonna come save us all. And Piggy's like, motherfucker, he probably dead. There's a war going on? Your dad's in the Navy? No. That bitch is dead. And Ralph is like, shut up. And then they come across a conch. And Ralph is like, ew. And then he blows into it to like attract any survivors of the plane crash. And they're like all under 12. Like the oldest is 12. They all come along and they're like, oh my god, there are people on the island. We are not that's Australian. We are not the only ones. I think that's still Australian, but I suck ass at accents. Anywho, there are boys who come in, including the choir boys, and the leader of the choir boys, his name's Jack. And he's described as tall, thin, bony, and ugly. Not even joking. Ugly. Like, Ralph, like, his first introduction is like a boy with fair hair, fair skin, fair eyes. So basically just white, essentially. And then Jack comes along and he's like, he's so ugly. So he comes along. And Piggy he goes around, he gathers people's names, but Jack interrupts him and he's like, shut up, faggy. Oh, not faggy. No. Okay, I horribly stuttered. He says, shut up, fatty, not faggy. Piggy's not gay. Actually, he might be. We'll get into that later.